everybody, Ryan Medore here, and today we are talking about playing a slow blues. Now, it's very common if you head to a blues jam or get together to play with people that you're going to play a slow blues tune. It could be Stormy Monday, it could be How Blue Can You Get, Have You Ever Loved a Woman? These are all really common slow blues tunes that people like to call, and here are some strategies for playing through that. Now, if you want, you can head over to ryanmedore.com and grab the 12 Bar Blues Survival Guide. That's going to have backing tracks, tab notation, all kinds of good stuff for both this lesson and a bunch of other blues-based lessons on this channel. And, you know, get to play along, learn a bunch of cool stuff. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about how to play a slow blues. Now, in this lesson, we are going to focus on a slow blues in the key of C, and I'm mostly going to stick to this region of the neck so that we can play the same pattern kind of in the same region for ease, and also because there might be a part 2 to this lesson. But for now, we're going to stick over here. We're going to begin right there on the 8th fret of our E string, finding the note C. And we're going to discuss a couple of main principles. One, the regular kind of slow blues pattern where we're going to kind of arpeggiate, playing a major triad and adding a sixth. And then we're also going to talk about the rhythm that I'm using. So typically when you're playing a slow blues, there are different rhythmic options, but for this particular one, it's what I like to call the like a double note slow blues, meaning we'll be playing double or 2 attacks on most of the notes that we're playing, and that's really going to help match the kick drum and bring the rhythm section together so that when you're playing alongside a drummer, it feels like you're hitting together. So typically, like, you know, if you're going to jam, you may be kind of aware of what your drummer might be doing, or maybe not, but this is something where if you hear the drummer go and do kick patterns that are going like boom, 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 that would be a great signal to use this particular kind of rhythm. So to get into our slow blues, we're going to be following a standard 12-bar form, meaning in the key of C, C is going to be our 1 chord, F is going to be our 4, G is going to be our 5. Those are our 1, 4, 5 chords. And for our 12-bar form, we're going to go a bar of 1, a bar of 4, 2 bars of 1, 2 bars of 4, going to that F, back to the 1 for 2 bars. Then we're going to go up to G for a bar, down to F, and then return to the 1. And then for that last bar, we're going to go 1, 4, 1, 5. Those, we're going to be kind of playing like 2 chords per bar for those last 2 bars. So that's our basic 12-bar form, and now we're going to talk a little bit about that pattern. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be using the root, the 3rd, the 5th, kind of starting by outlining our major triad, and then we're going to add our scale degree 6. Now, when we're doing this, we can play 2 attacks on the root, 3rd, 5th, and then when we go to our 6, we can play 2 attacks, or we could play 1 attack and then return to our 5th for a 2nd attack. Something like that. And this is a great thing to do because if we do that, that kind of leads us really nicely to our 4 chord, because we're kind of going scale degree 6, 5, landing on our 4 chord. So that sets up that transition really nicely. So once you get comfortable with this pattern, 1, 3, 5, 6, 5, or just 1, 3, 5, 6, either way is cool. We're going to take that and we're going to now move it to the other chords in our chord progression. So we have our C chord, our 1, 4 chord, go to that F, same pattern, back to C, go to our F again for 2 bars, back to C, now we're going to go up to our 5 chord G. Play that pattern the same way, down to F, play the pattern again once on F, and then we're going to return to our C, go to our F, back to our C, and then up to our G, or down to our G, depending upon where you're going. and then return down to the C, the tonic. We made it. We finished our form. That's pretty cool. So as you're practicing this, you can tell that, I'm being pretty definitive about my rhythm. I'm not really adding any variation yet. Like, that's going to come next, don't worry. But the best thing you can do at first is just commit to this pattern, get comfortable with it, follow that 12-bar form, be aware of keeping time, and most importantly, just kind of like get comfortable playing in this section of the neck and visualizing, all right, here's my 1 chord, here's my 4 chord, here's my 5 chord. That's super helpful. And when you do this, having that feel, keeping time with your body is really great. Like, you can kind of tell that I like bop my head a little bit. With a slow blues, because the tempo is a lot slower, we have to be pretty good about keeping time internally. Internally meaning like using our body. So I like to kind of, either tap my foot or bounce my heel or move my head side to side, so that I'm kind of like naturally creating this subdivision, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's a really great way to help keep time and to help play this pattern, especially if you feel like you would benefit from like counting out the rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's like a helpful thing for a lot of folks. So I hope you dug this lesson. Get ready for another one focused on this slow blues, but for now, get this groove under your fingertips. And again, if you want to get tab, notation, backing tracks, tons of other blues feels, head over to ryanmedora.com to check out the 12-Bar Blues Survival Pack. There's also other kinds of goodies. You can learn how to improvise, other things, and then feel free to head over to my Patreon page if you dig this content and you want to support there, or my TrueFire channel. All right, everybody, happy practicing. Keep it groovy.